So in this video, we have our friends Karen and Antonio who just came down from the US, and that is in August of 2025. Now I came down a good 2021 is when I drove down. And so that was kind of during the pandemic, so it was a very different experience. But they just came down in 2025 and the situation has changed a lot. And so I wanted them to share on the channel a little bit about what it is currently like to drive from the US down to El Salvador. Okay, you guys came down in a brand new 2025 Chevy Silverado, and part of that reason was to have a nice up-to-date truck,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, because we knew we wanted to have something that was going to last a long time, because you know you can't just keep buying new vehicles, and then we heard down here too, price wise, you know you have to be careful,
and cars are more expensive here.
Yes, and we figured we'd just get it from the US.
Okay, and you also came down with a 14-foot fully enclosed trailer filled with their tools and their like precious items.
Yeah.
On top of that, so it's a double whammy when you're pulling a trailer and a truck. Yeah. So let's talk first border, going from the US into Mexico.
Okay, so we had got a tip from Mexico. It's a On the Road to Mexico group, and this is a guy that's been on a lot. He's like I think he's one of the admins of that group, and he had mentioned that there were two borders that you can go to that will waive the tax, the 19% tax that they will charge you on your contents. So we said, okay, great. One was 10 hours away from we were in Las Cruces at the moment in New Mexico, because we originally were going to go through St. Teresa. So one was 10 hours, one was 4. So of course we picked the 4 hour.
Yeah.
And called the customs place before we left, explained what we were doing, just to reconfirm what they do. Yes, they can help us. We come down. You know, if we come down, no problem. We're driving down, and they start harping on the truck. Yeah. They start asking questions about the truck.
Brand new truck.
Brand new truck.
It's a nice truck.
Yeah, and they actually asked us to send photos, remember, of the inventory. They wanted to see what we had in the truck. So we're driving down. She's like, well, you have to do this shipper document because of the trailer and the truck, and you're importing the truck. And I'm like, we're not importing the truck into Mexico. We're just driving through. Yeah. We're going to import the truck when we get to El Salvador. So she says, okay, no problem. We can still help you with the trailer. That's what she said. We get down there. It's a completely different story. We talked to the customs guy. You got
a different person when you got there.
No, it was probably the same person. So I wasn't talking to the actual boss. I was talking to like his secretary.
Oh,
so we get down there, and actually he wasn't there. Their internet had gone out, so we had to wait a couple hours before everything could come back up. But we're talking to her, and as we're talking to her, she said, no, we can still help you with the trailer. And I said, well, what does it cost to do the document, for the waiver? And she said, oh, it's $70. Okay, fine. So we hung around, right? We had something to eat. The internet came back on. The customs boss was there. We go in there, and he immediately starts in with the truck again, and about the shipper document, and you need this and you need that, and it's going to take 3 days. And we're looking at each other going,
3 days?
No, in 3 days, if we're going to stay down at the border in 3 days, we will have nothing left to bring down there.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. The bottom line was, he was saying that we needed a shipper permit. It's called a shipper document. And when I looked it up, and we were doing a research, that is only for commercial vehicles, but he was trying to change our stuff into a commercial situation.
You were taking that stuff down there to ship it down there and to like resell or something like that.
And that's exactly what the shipper document is, for people that are importing stuff that they're going to sell, and it's so
like importing the truck to sell the truck and stuff like that.
And here's the funny, I didn't tell you this. He turns around and he says to me, he says, well, that waiver thing doesn't really exist.
What?
and he's like,
that's the only reason we came here, dude.
Right? Remember? And then he's like, well, you can sleep on it, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm thinking, no, you won't. We just got in the truck and went back to Las Cruces. And then we decided to go with our original plan, which was St. Teresa border.
And this is still in the U.S., so just know you can get scammed anywhere, and people can change what they say. They might say one thing on the phone, and then you get there, it's a whole different ballpark.
It's a whole different ballpark. You have to do your research. If somebody tells you that you need a document, like what we did, that you've never heard of, or it wasn't in, because we were so prepared.
Oh,
We had
yes.
everything we needed. We had everything
This
we needed.
woman has been talking to me for over a year
Yes,
almost.
Yes.
Yeah. And been preparing in every single Pan Am group there is,
Mhm.
and all these different groups. So it definitely pays. And if you don't have the time to do that kind of research, that's why you use somebody like Living Like a Local, because
Yes.
we can help cut your research in half, and it can be really helpful to get from real people. And since we have clients coming down all the time, it's nothing is 100% sure, and we guarantee our work at Living Like a Local, but you can never guarantee an experience, especially right now with the state of Mexico and the state of other Central American countries that are not as safe and reliable as El Salvador. Okay, so you went back to Las Cruces, and how was the crossing at Las Cruces?
Well, we went to Las Cruces, and then we crossed at St. Teresa border,
Okay.
and it was right. There was hardly any people there. It wasn't crowded. It was fairly easy,
Mhm.
and we got everything went very quick until we got to the point where they had to check once again the trailer. The trailer. And what you have to be careful what they do, what this guy did was, because Antonio had tools in the trailer, he was trying to classify it as a commercial vehicle. Once again, here we go. It's for business. We're trying to explain to him, no, it's not. It's just our personal stuff. And he says, don't worry. He said, we can get through this. I'll help you, but it's going to cost you. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
That's
what he
usually
said
how they phrase it.
Yeah, that's going to cost you.
Oh, I'm helping you out.
Yeah,
so
right.
Make sure you help me out.
Right. So it was expensive. He did the declaration. The mistake that we made, for everybody that's listening, if you do decide to do with a trailer, we did not pay attention to what he put on that declaration page on what we paid in taxes for the contents of the trailer.
Okay.
He
So
put down,
verify.
oh yeah.
Don't trust, verify.
I don't know. How did we miss that? We know when we found out, when they stopped us again 2 seconds later, the military police. That's how we found out. On the declaration page, it was he put $1,100. That was all that we had in the trailer.
And all those tools are way more.
So the guy, you can say, what did the military police say to you when we stopped? They literally stopped us. We weren't even driving for 2 minutes, and we got stopped again by a group of military police.
And that's what they do, because they know that the corruption is everywhere, and what they did is they check the trailer, and as soon as they saw the trailer and then look at the decoration paper and say, I see a lot of people coming with less stuff with what you have, and they pay more than what you have paid. I say, that's not my problem, not my fault. Go ask the person who did the decoration paper. Then you can maybe give you the answer. You say, no, I know, I don't mean that's your fault, but I have to take you to, I don't know what they mention a place where they can take you, and they unloaded the trailer, everything down, and make the inventory, itemize everything, and then you pay the right amount of taxes. But at the meantime, they say, I can help you. The kind of help they give you,
Or
and you go down your way.
Yeah, because government agencies are not, and even it could be the same agency but different offices, they are not necessarily lined up.
No.
So even though you just got through the border and you had your declaration page and everything, 2 seconds later, there's some military police. They're saying like, okay, no, this is totally Chueco, and as Antonio said, oh, hello, that's not my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it's another opportunity for discrepancy, another opportunity to.
And who knows if that guy might have done it on purpose? The guy that originally did it on purpose, so he could, he knew down the line we'd be paying.
So it's a double dip. Yeah. You never know.
You don't know. So always check everything. Check your documents that you're getting back from them. Make sure all the information is right. Make sure they stamp your passport. We heard a horror story from people coming into El Salvador from Guatemala, and the person at the police, he said he saw her do it, but the stamp wasn't on the passport. So when they got to Guatemala, they're telling her, oh, you have to go back to Belize, or
we can help you out.
We can help you out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So always be careful of what your documents say. Make sure that you check your passport. That's what we did every time we went. We made sure that the stamp was there.
Okay. What was your first experience with, I'd say, I guess with bribes? It was in Chihuahua, right?
Yeah, that was scary.
you had 3 to 5 stops just while you were in the state of Chihuahua.
Yeah.
From police and from
every National Guard, from police,
I
from
mean,
the
Mhm.
only one that didn't ask me for a bribe was the one of the federal.
oh yeah, that's right. He
That's
lives
the
there.
only nice person I saw when he asked me where you headed to, and I said El Salvador. He said, "You have a long way to go.
Have a good
he
day.
said pass on.
Yeah.
Keep going."
Okay, so the 5 stops, only one of them didn't ask for a bribe. The other ones did.
Yeah.
The
All of
rest, yeah, all of them.
All the
All
other
of
ones,
them,
and that's
yeah.
just in Chihuahua.
So
Yeah.
just in Chihuahua.
Okay, so that's definitely a state to avoid.
Yeah.
And let's see, further down, how many more do you think you had after Chihuahua? And how
Um,
much did you pay on average with these
Oh,
bribes?
please, I can't even remember. I think we
It
pay
was
at
several
least,
thousand, I think total, right?
we pay at least 30,000 pesos.
Yeah, at least.
At least 30,000 pesos through
Yeah.
all of Mexico.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
at least 30,000, maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
And
did every bribe was just a little different? They're just like,
Yeah.
hey, give me 2,000 pesos.
Oh,
Hey,
the
give
last
me
one
this.
they wanted 5,000.
Yeah, that was right before we got to the border of Guatemala. But the police, when we in Chihuahua, the one, all right, so Maps sent us down a wrong road, like a wrong turn. We weren't supposed to turn, but it was like traffic coming, traffic coming. We had to go. Like we didn't, but there was a cop conveniently behind us, and I don't know if he had already been trailing us because we have the trailer, or
And
if it
because
was
your
just-
plates.
right.
You got gringo plates.
Right, we got gringo. So we pull over, and those guys, they were a little nasty. They had no compassion for the fact. We're trying to explain it was Maps. It was an accident. We're really sorry. You know,
Mhm.
we made a wrong turn because we were listening to the navigation, and they pretty much made us empty out like all our pockets, everything. They took everything, or
Wow.
we could wait to go Monday. This was on Saturday. You could wait till Monday and go to court if you want. And
Mhm.
meanwhile, they're going to take the trailer and rip that apart.
Mhm.
We're like, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah,
Or we can just handle it right now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you
basically
pay your fine
you
right
can
out.
pay your way
Mhm.
out of anything down there. That's what
Yeah.
I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You know, you just and the scary. I will tell this to people because I've heard, and they actually blocked me now in the Mexico group because I was like voicing my opinion.
Mhm.
These people are telling, oh no, you can argue with them, you can do this, don't listen to them, you can just keep talking, they'll get bored and go away. No, I don't think so. And I think that is really bad advice because first of all, these people have the power to do what they say they're going to do. It's not like an empty threat. Like for you coming over to me and saying, oh, I'm going to take your trailer. Well, of course you're not, but
Yeah.
these people have the power to do it. Not only that, only one time where we stopped and there was 2 cops. That was the one when we made the wrong turn.
Mhm.
Usually you're being stopped by, there's usually 7, 8, 9 surrounded guns. You're not going to argue with these people.
Mhm.
You can try to maybe, get some kind of humanness in there, but it really doesn't work. They don't care.
Mhm.
They don't care. I wouldn't advise anybody to try to, be snarky or, try to argue
Mhm.
them into, or I totally disagree with that. Don't you? From the experience that we
Oh,
had.
please, for my experience.
And that's what they advising. Some of these groups are advising people to do
Mhm.
that.
Well, I know when I came down, I had the advantage of we were all gringas and like my daughter feigned ignorance and that no Spanish and no Spanish. But with Antonio, you can't get by with the dumb gringo
No,
act.
No.
You can't. They're they're gonna throw you under the bus faster than
Right.
faster than anything.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, so that was Chihuahua, and then then we got to the Guatemalan border, and that I mean I had
That's
I
an
had a
episode.
traumatic experience at the Guatemalan border, and that was back when it was all tranquil and kind of safe.
Yeah,
So
it's not any. Well, it's not that it's. Well, I don't know.
it's not that it's traumatic; it's just that
yeah,
it's
no, I know
so
what you-
long and so confusing.
Did you go to the talisman? Is that the one that you went to?
I think so. I went to the more northern one, not the one down by the beach.
All right. So this I had been talking to this one guy. He's a missionary, lives in Guatemala.
Mhm.
He kind of picked up on our situation and he was like private messaging me.
Uh-huh.
And so he said everyone and many people said do not go to Talisman.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of I won't go into like specific because we're doing a video and stuff, but just a lot of not so great activity going on down there.
Okay.
So they said go to the Hidalgo one. We go to the Hidalgo one. They send us back to Mexico because now they're saying that we're not tourists and this and that. We actually
Yeah.
tried to bribe them. We actually offered the guy a bribe. Please just let us through. And he wouldn't take it. He's like, nope, you got to go.
What?
Yeah. I know. It was like, he's like, you got to go back
You
to
got the one honest guy.
that would be our luck, right?
Yeah.
So they're telling us talisman. Everyone's telling us talisman. You have to go back to, and I'm going, I don't want to go to talisman because this guy had a really, really bad experience, like life-threatening experience there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so we wind up having to go to talisman, and we get there. There's a super long line. What was it, like 2 miles?
Around there, yeah.
And this guy comes up, this Donald Garcia. He actually turned out to be a pretty decent guy, and I think that they work there because a lot of them don't have a choice. There's no other jobs. They don't like what they're doing, but it's like, you know how it is down in those places.
It's just you gotta take what you can get.
Anyway, we got the right person in that chaotic situation. So he's bringing us to the front of the line. He's doing paperwork and working with Antonio. Brings us to the front of the line, and we're going through. Oh, and the guy that I had been messaging with said, "Don't let them take you into the parking lot." Okay.
Okay.
He said it's across from the aduana office. Don't let them take you in there. Don't go in the parking lot.
You will never come back.
You'll come out. Right. So we're following him, and now there's cars behind us. There's guards, guns, people walking all over the place. And where are we headed? Right into the parking lot. We get into the parking lot, and they're writing a number on the windshield with chalk, like this big number, 5508. I know that. Remember the number? And I'm like, what? I'm kind of freaking out. He's being super quiet. And they're passing him paperwork. I'm like, don't sign it, and he's signing stuff. They're writing numbers on the trailer, and I'm looking around. It's like this massive used car lot. And my first thought, I said, we're done. We just lost everything.
Yep.
And maybe our lives. That was the first moment I started really getting nervous. Because of what this other guy told me.
Because like you don't write something on your car if you're gonna be in and out the same day.
Exactly.
Nah.
That's what I said. I said, we're done. We just lost everything. And anyway, so that turned into a 2-day ordeal. And they took his passport. They took his driver's license. What else?
Oh, the title of the car.
Yeah.
They took the title.
All
The title, then the car and the trailer. And and I think that's it. After that, we went to do an inventory of what we have in the trailer.
And then they had to do the inventory,
Yeah, because they did the paperwork to get us through the Guatemalan border. And after that, when that paperwork was approved, and then they let us out of the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how far hour-wise, how many hours were you?
We got in a Sunday in the morning.
Sunday morning,
and then we left.
8 o'clock.
And then we left, and I don't advise anyone to drive at night. We drove 1 hour to a hotel. We just wanted to get away from the border.
Yeah.
We left it was around 5 o'clock because we got to the hotel with 6.
Yeah, 6.
So when they do this to you, first of all, they did their own inventory. They wouldn't even look at mine. They didn't want my inventory.
Yeah, they don't trust it for nothing.
No.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then I think it was hours later. He's telling me, we're standing by the truck, and he's like, "Oh, because now they kind of finagle the paperwork too. They do finagle it." And he's like, he's telling me, "Oh, they just told me that we have to drive down with a guardian." That's when I kind of lost it. Right?
A guardian?
A guardian. And so I think Donald probably thought I was a little crazy. I started freaking out. I'm like, just drop me off at the airport. I'm not driving down Guatemala with, we're going back and forth. And so, I don't know. We had a moment with Donald where we were coming down from the hotel. Donald was there, and I said, come have lunch with us. He spoke English. He spoke decent English. Good. And I just felt like we had more of start having a more human interaction instead of a transactional interaction with him. It might go a little bit better. And it did. He had 7 kids. We have 6, we started talking, and he really helped us out a lot, I think. So we're getting the money. So we have to have this large sum of money. I think it was like 30,000 kazales or whatever the heck it's called.
That's a big amount. 18,000
was it 18,000?
Yeah,
okay,
because we got 22. So
right.
I think it was 22.
I had to have my son Western Union me money, and so we're driving to Western Union, and they're still. He gets a phone call from his boss. They want to know where he got the money to pay for the truck. They're still going after the truck. So now
they want to keep.
They wanted that
Moral
truck.
of the story: don't drive a brand spanking new. Try get at least at 1-2 years old.
Yeah. Well, I called. So at this point I'm mad. Now I'm getting I've just had it. We've done everything they wanted. I call my bank and I'm telling the bank, the woman on the phone. I'm like, look, I'm in a situation here. This is what's going on. She's like, oh my gosh. She thought I thought this is not a prank. I said, I need a copy of the certified check that we paid for the truck. And in about half hour, she got it for me. Yeah. So we were able to show them the copy. I showed it to Donald, and I said, "See, it says Gent. That's the dealer. This is the amount. Because you have all our paperwork where we got the truck from." So I think he called his boss, and they laid off that. But you have to
be really, really diligent and have paperwork that you never even thought. Like they had to have the bill of sale of their car. So how was driving through Guatemala?
It was perfect.
Nice.
And this Christian, because finally I said no way I wasn't going to do it, blah blah blah. But by the next day I kind of calmed down after talking to Donald. And then when he introduced us to Christian, he was this little frail 70
years old.
70-year-old man. I said to Antonio, I said, "Oh, we could take him if he tries anything."
It's like we can take him if he tries it. And that's what Mexico will do to you once you get to Mexico. Just
makes
like,
you a little aggressive.
You're sizing everybody up.
Yeah, right. We can take you, right?
Yeah.
But he actually turned out to be a blessing. This guy knew where every pothole was, where every speed bump. He knew the right hotel to stay at.
Oh,
he really and Charlie.
That's gold.
Charlie, our Chihuahua, liked him. I said he was Charlie approved. Charlie was sitting in his lap almost the whole way down, and he didn't care. So he turned out to be a blessing.
Yeah,
he really did. And so the drive through Guatemala, actually, once we got through the border, was very good. It was okay.
Okay. Yeah. See, I did not have someone like that, and so my drive through Guatemala was not so fast and efficient. That was a big low moment for me. But that's probably because you guys had him. Yeah, and I didn't have anybody with me. Okay. And then we get to the Guatemala-El Salvador border. So how many days did it take you to get to Guatemala?
Guatemala was only 1 day.
Just one day. So
Just
you
1 day.
crossed in the morning
In
and
Guatemala we drove for an hour before in the night, the day before. But the next day we got to the El Salvador Guatemalan border around 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. Nice. So you were on the major highways, so you crossed and
Yeah, that was a blessing. Have a Christian with us.
Yeah, he was a major godsend because it took me way more than 2 days, and I was sitting in construction and nonstop traffic and
he knew
potholes that you swear go to China.
Exactly, and I'll tell you, he knew where they were because he'd tell Antonio, "There's one coming up." It's like he knew the road like the back of his hand. It was amazing.
And then so then you got to Guatemala and El Salvador. How was checking out of Guatemala and how was checking into El Salvador?
Checking out Guatemala was simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, easy breezy.
Yeah, you just go to the aduana. No, we just went to immigration to stamp the passport, and they took care of the aduana.
Yeah, Christian had paperwork, so he took off when we first got there. He went somewhere with the paperwork, and then it just went from there. So
do you see the other key? Yeah. Christian went and did the paperwork.
No, he had the paperwork. Well,
not you guys.
He handed over. It was like some kind of
connection they have.
It's a connection that they had. That wasn't you, Gringa Honey, going up with all this paperwork.
Yeah.
So again, like having somebody on the inside.
We have already.
He was.
That's half the battle.
He was waiting for us about a kilometer before we got to the border. The guy from the Guatemala border. What's his name?
Mauricio.
Mauricio.
No, see, Donald hooked us up with Mauricio. They had these connections, and Mauricio was another angel. He was really and he was on the Salvadorian side. He gave Antonio the contact. Antonio called Mauricio, and Mauricio was actually tracking us because I forgot to mention they put a GP. He's telling me
they put a GPS tracker on you.
You see that on GPS.
He kept saying,
you see that on GPS.
I said, I have my phone right here. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Wow.
And then there actually was a GPS underneath the seat. So Mauricio was able to track us from Guatemala to when we got to El Salvador.
Oh, wow.
Forgot to mention that part.
Yeah. But that's why something is, I believe that's something it's not legal for them to do it.
I don't. At this point we're so
but
confused.
At that point, you're kind of like, we've got to trust somebody, so we're trusting that Donald and Christian are on the up and up, and that they're tracking us for a good reason. Because if Pandillero or if somebody's going to take you, they're going to have at least your last spot that you were at.
Yeah, I mean, there's plus sides to that. But Mauricio also, now from Mauricio to the customs in San Salvador, that was another thing. He hooked us up with the right people, this guy Nelson, and then this guy, we don't know his name, we called him the customs guy. we didn't get his name, so he's in the phone as the customs guy. He was a lawyer.
I need to talk to him about that because my paper they took my
Oh yeah, they take your title to
Yeah,
your
they took
car,
my title of the car,
Oh.
yeah,
and they
I don't
turn
know
it
what's
into
going on
something
with that.
else in El Salvador.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to talk about.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you have to get it changed from a U.S. title. You got to get it to an El Salvador title
Or
Yeah.
something like
since
that.
you're importing the truck in,
Yeah.
But
and
they
since
gave,
you're Salvadoran.
but they
so.
did give us paperwork on that.
Mhm.
We have
We
some
do have
paperwork.
paperwork.
I
We
want to
have paperwork.
take a look if we can get a chance for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so Mauricio hooked us up with this guy, the Nelson, and then the lawyer.
Mhm.
And we actually we thought we were going to have to pay for the trailer,
Yeah,
and
because that's
because the
what they first told
trailer's
me.
not a vehicle,
Yeah.
you know. And they talked to him. They thought you were going to use it for business,
Yeah,
and you told them you weren't.
and I told that trailer's not go in my truck hitch
Yeah, ever
once
again.
again.
That's right.
Uh-uh.
We're taking the wheels
She's
off.
like, I am traumatized.
Yeah.
It has become
No,
a small home
And that's
for my
true.
empleada.
And that's true because I'm traumatized pulling that trailer.
Uh-huh.
Over here, the last time I almost got pull it in, I almost got stuck over there. And I said,
Oh.
I am not hooking
Yeah, no.
up the trailer
Yeah,
behind my
he said the
truck
wheels are
anymore.
coming off. We're done.
Yeah,
Done with the trailer.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you
So-
had to kind of say, look, no, there's no way I'm using this trailer for a business.
No,
Uh-uh.
put nothing.
Nothing.
Besides storage.
Uh-huh.
Besides
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I use it for.
aduana agents, yeah, they can. I mean, you could say like, well, why do I have to pay for this? Can't I just go through aduana myself? But as you see from them,
No, don't.
if you don't have somebody that's kind of on the inside that kind of knows what they can and can't get through, you never know what you're getting taken for. So it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like paying up front. It's
Mhm.
like paying up front to not get scammed on the back end.
Yes.
And that's really what the aduana agents are about. And I mean, hello, that's why we have a company,
Yeah.
right? It's like, okay, some people are just like, oh, but why am I going to pay you all this money? I'm like, honey,
Yeah.
because down here there's no tort law.
Right.
You can't sue anybody when you get scammed. So you kind of pay up front to get connected to the right people, whether it be contractors, whether it be people at the border, whether it be plumbers, whether it be getting the right car. All the different types of services that we help people with and living like local. It's all, that's why we have a business.
Yeah.
Is
No, I
to
highly-
keep people on the up and up.
Totally, highly recommend you guys. I mean, you really do need help. I know a lot of people do. They think, they can do it on their own. And, it sounds kind of silly. Oh, so why can't you do this on your own? Or why? It's not the same anywhere
Yeah.
else. People have to understand it's a totally different mindset
Mhm.
and how things work over here. Even real estate. I could walk out right now and tell somebody I'm a real estate agent and actually start selling real estate without a real estate license.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, you do need the help. You absolutely need the help, and we got the help we needed, and we wound up paying we had to pay the lawyer, okay,
Mhm.
and we paid nothing else, no taxes when we came in. El
Yep.
Salvador, we paid zero
Yep.
from the program.
Because Antonio is a diaspora that came back, and he came back with a vehicle that he did not have to pay import taxes with, and he came back with his tools and all of his precious things. So the limit isn't it 70,000?
I think
Right now it's 100.
it's 100.
Oh, it's 100.
It's 100. Okay, this is another one. If you don't bring your $100,000, what the government give you
Uh-huh.
tax free. Now, if you only bring 50,000, you can go back and bring another 50,000 to complete 100.
Not on your
But-
life.
If you want to go
But-
through Mexico.
I can tell you this.
couldn't pay
Some
me.
of the people, when they told me that, I can tell you, I give it $100,000 to you and you go get it.
Yeah,
I
right.
am not going through Mexico
You
again.
couldn't pay
No.
me to go
Yeah.
back and
To
redo that whole
Mexico again.
situation.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
top tips for other diaspora and other people that are coming down because they're like, but this is my stuff. I'm going to try use the $100,000 limit in there. I'm going to I really got to bring my car back with me. So if somebody has to drive down, what are your top tips for those that have to drive down? One, avoid Chihuahua. Avoid the whole state.
It's
don't
going
know
to
there's
become
that
a
many
problem
routes.
because Chihuahua is such a big state. It's like you talk about Texas or California, New York,
Mhm.
and it's a big state. And coming, I guess, through Matamoros, I guess,
Uh-huh.
by
Did you guys go more western or did you go
The
more
middle.
right down the middle?
Right
San
down the
Luis
middle.
Potosi
yeah,
and
right down the middle.
right
yeah.
down the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know how Chihuahua is connected with the other states and the border, but you have to first. They told us to avoid all cost Sinaloa.
Sinaloa. Yeah, I've
That's
heard
they
that's
told
really
us
bad.
to
Yeah.
avoid it at all cost.
Mhm.
Well, we saw where Sinaloa is next to Chihuahua, and I say, okay, we're going to Chihuahua,
Mhm.
and nothing can happen. So
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
Chihuahua.
proximity still,
I think
so
it's similarity
like
in there.
get at least 2 states away from Sinaloa,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know when I drove through, I crossed early in the morning, and I went through Piedras Negras, but I had a similar experience to you as far as I was thinking I was just going to go through Laredo because so much traffic went through Laredo, but like me, like Spirit definitely told me, no, do not do Laredo. Is it go through Piedras Negras? And so we turned around and we went through Piedras Negras, and it was super fast, a little too fast actually, because I kind of got in the wrong car lane, and I ended up like just at this light, and then the light turned green, and all of a sudden I was in Mexico, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it didn't hit me. I guess I was in such a high stress level that it didn't hit me until San Cristobal, like a month later when we were trying to exit Mexico, that I was an illegal alien in Mexico because
You
they
don't want-
never stamped our passports,
Oh.
and I never really checked us in. So yeah,
I don't even know exactly if it's as safe as it was when you went down it, because I'm telling you, when you every because we're always stopping to use the restroom, and every rest stop is loaded with all there's 4 different, right, the federales, the military, municipal, and what else, National Guard, and they're all filtering around rest stops, and they're all filtering around the toll booths
and the gas
Yeah.
stations.
gas
and
station.
gas. So
Yeah.
they're all it's like I from what
Mm-hmm.
I understand, and of course I haven't done this before, but talking to other people, they said it has gotten increasingly worse with all the stopping and the bribes and all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
one thing I will say, if you're going to do what we did with an enclosed trailer, be careful what you're bringing down. They had a huge problem with our dog food. They had a problem with my supplements.
A contraband dog food.
Right. I mean, I had hundreds
Yeah.
and hundreds of dollars of supplements, and I had, Patrick from Aponeca. I had a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff for him,
Mhm.
and bringing stuff because the shipping is so expensive, right? So I figured I'll get enough stuff for a year. We almost lost it, right? We
Yeah.
almost lost it.
Supplements can be very touchy, especially even in El Salvador, aduana, because they're kind of seen, it's questionable how much they're seen as medicine versus how much they're seen as like a health food.
Right, and that's why I was trying to explain to them. It's not medicine. I said this is for this is for that, but no, they don't understand. They don't have a good understanding of that. And I would say be careful of bringing stuff down that's business like, unless you like. I just talked to this other woman at charities group, and her husband wants to bring down like business stuff, and I told her, I said I know you're gonna have a problem with that, so it's gonna be different paperwork and whatever. And I gave her the contacts actually that we talked to, the lawyer and the guy at the what's his name, Nelson, over here in San Salvador. I said, talk to them first before you do it, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. With because that's what they were trying to do with him, saying, he has a table saw, he's got all this stuff, and they weren't like completely believing that it wasn't just personal.
They don't understand that.
They don't understand
every tool you bring it, they believe it. You bring it because you want to open your business over here, or you want to use it for business,
right?
Yeah. Or you want to sell it.
Yeah.
Okay. But once you cross the Salvador border, what was the major difference? It's like
it wasn't right. It wasn't like a physical thing. It was more of a spiritual, more of a feeling. It was just,
I don't know. Those roads are awesome. I love El Salvador.
Compared to what we were driving on, they were fine.
Composed the topes.
No,
I mean, tope was the first 4-letter word that my kids learned in Spanish.
But one other thing I can tell you, we crossed the Salvadorian border, and still a week after, I didn't even think I was still in El Salvador. I was thinking I was so stressed out all the time. I see the cops and everything around in the streets. I couldn't.
Right. He would.
And
and that Google Map thing, that little, because we kept getting, that ping you get on Google Maps, and it says, oh, police, there's police
Nearby.
ahead, and because we were getting that in Mexico all the time. The thing would ping up, oh, there's police reported ahead, and we're like, oh my gosh, no, not again.
Oh.
And so every time he would hear that, he would just, you know.
So it's a little bit of a PTSD
Oh
response.
yeah, because he was
with
the
the
one
deans.
that had to deal with these people. I
Yeah.
couldn't deal with them. I couldn't speak Spanish. They didn't want to
Uh-huh.
deal with me. He was the one out of the car.
And it's all intimidation amongst the men. I've noticed that.
Yes.
Like, I guess it was different because with me, we're all girls, and so it was very interesting to see how their demeanor would change the minute they found out there wasn't a man in the car. They went from super confrontational to like really protective. Of just like, oh my goodness, what are you doing here? And that was really interesting to see with the authority figures. Is there's definitely, I mean, machismo is.
No, and it's even over here, I'll tell you, like we had to bring a bunch of stuff from the house into the car because they were doing the roof thing, and I'm carrying like 2 big bags of dog food. I'm used, and two of the young guys came running over to me. One took one took the other. Like okay, well, I was like, okay, I mean, I wasn't expecting it. But it's okay if you want to do it, but it's a total, it's a different mentality.
Chivalry is not dead.
No,
in
not
Latin
in El
America.
Salvador. Yeah, no,
It's
no, it's
awesome.
not. It's not.
It's awesome. Okay, well, thank you so very much for sharing your experience. And if you need context and you need help and you want some people on the inside in the context that they have mentioned, you can contact us at Living Like a Local, and we'll do everything in our power to help you have the smoothest, most reliable transition into this beautiful country.
Yes.
Any last tidbits, Antonio?
No, that's all I
last
can say,
advice?
because when I got to El Salvador, I was still nervous, and I
Yeah.
couldn't believe I was already in El Salvador and driving around, and I couldn't, my mind couldn't understand where I was. I was thinking I was still in Mexico.
His whole face was different. I said when I was watching him drive to Mexico, I was like, he looked like a different person. It was like it was that traumatic for him dealing with these people.
He had to be. You had to be like super focused.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm so glad you guys are here.
Me too.
And they are doing an awesome, massive transformation on the property that they bought here. And you went through Kevin. He's our realtor, right?
That's that's who we bought the property from.
Yeah. And Kevin's he's the realtor that we typically contract out. Great guy. You can totally trust him.
Okay, the other one I want to say before you close the video.
Yeah.
Because the property we almost lose it. If that was for the person sitting over there who help us out.
Hey, Caesar.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, not kidding.
No,
because we already have a trust on him, right? We already have a session with him, and we trust him with his word and everything, the work he does. And we went to another person, another lawyer, and he started to explain to us something like the charcoal board, with charcoal and a board and things like that. And he was showing some paper he was receiving from the other lawyer who Kevin.
No, he said he lied. He said he didn't get all the paperwork, and he did get all the paperwork.
He did, and whatever he did, he said there was able to read it, and we almost walk away from his property.
Right.
And then he called us at Living Like a Local.
No kidding.
Right.
That's how we end with his property.
Really, it was because Caesar said, no, the paperwork is fine. Everything's here and it's no problem. And then, we almost lost this property.
Yeah, we almost lost the
we almost walked away.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And that's what I pointed out, because, like I said, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. And I can say, I can tell to anybody who want to know who you guys are, and I can tell you that hands down, I can tell you can trust them. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I knew that the first time I saw you. My video. No, I'm serious. I said to him, right? I said, I need to know that lady. When I saw your videos and we started watching you.
Yeah. Well, it's like you get the vibe.
Yeah, like the vibe.
Because there are other people that do what we do in here, but it's here in El Salvador. But you really gotta catch with the people that you really vibe with.
Yes.
Because I mean, not everybody that comes to us we necessarily vibe with, and I have no problems whatsoever saying, you know what, you might want to try this person or this person or this person, because they're probably more aligned with you.
Right.
But that is not a typical attitude down here. Usually people do anything and everything to get your business and to get your money.
Right.
So that's why you need to be really leery and make sure you're vibing.
Yes.
You could say.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us get this message out.
Yes. Okay. I am Jenny Adi, shining my light so you can shine yours. If you want to talk to us at Living Like a Local, if you get the vibe, then you can check out the website down below, and one of our team will get a hold of you.
Okay.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.